What in the world? Who thought it was a good idea to shove pencils down in the gap in the wall? Oh, and not just once. There's another one. Oh, I don't even know anymore. Sometimes on Friday afternoons, it's all you can do to sit here and just not fall asleep. This is one of those Friday afternoons. Also, it's currently snow raining. So that's exciting. I am currently in such a state of, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed that I am wandering around the room. Also, I took my shoes off, which could be disgusting, but I can't wear shoes anymore. Okay, I have like 7 million things I want to get done this evening, and I know that once I start working, it's not going to take that much time, but I have so many things that I don't exactly know where to start yet. So I've decided that step number 1 is to make a list of all the things I want to do, and then go from there. So, list time. So now I'm going to start on it. Let me show you the spaces that I'm tackling today. We have this looking for us. And also all of this. And then we're going to decorate for Christmas. Okay, I figure as long as I'm back here just sorting papers, I can tell you the story I was going to tell you, because then I can multitask and then I can feel better about myself. So, we're currently reading a Christmas book as our read aloud called Miss Holly is Too Jolly, which is a hysterical book. It's from the My Weird School series, and if you've never read that, it is totally worth your while. It's very funny. Anyway, so we're reading this book. And the chapter we read yesterday, their Spanish teacher hangs mistletoe all over the walls in their classroom. And they're freaking out because, oh my gosh, mistletoe. If you're a teacher, don't hang mistletoe. I don't care what grade you're in. It's a terrible idea. Anyway, so the teacher just now found mistletoe everywhere. They're freaking out. So there's this girl that this guy particularly does not care for. And, you know, as fate would have it, they end up underneath the mistletoe together. So I'm reading this part to them. And I, you know, can read ahead and I see what's coming. I also remember it from last year. And so I'm sitting there and I start laughing and getting like, oh my gosh, it's coming. And so the kids start knowing what's coming too. The horror on their faces and in their expressions when I read the part where she kisses him to die for. It was absolutely hysterical. So I've got 22 little second graders sitting on the floor listening to how these kids ended up under the mistletoe and this girl kissed him, and they are freaking out. Like, you could hear us all through the school. My teachers asked me, oh, is that why your kids were laughing so hard? Yeah, because we were talking about kissing under the mistletoe. But wait, it gets better. Here, I'll just show you one. We've had these pumpkins hanging from the ceiling, and as you notice, they have little green leaves. And there were a couple of them that I hung upside down, so they were like this. I can't even tell you how many kids came in this morning and were like, there's mistletoe hanging from our ceiling. I can't sit next to you. Oh my gosh, I'm scared to be in here. Guys, I'm not that foolish. There will never be mistletoe hanging in this room. Well, it was incredibly amusing to read about it with them, and I am pumped to get to do stuff like that again. It was hilarious. We learned about homographs this week, and I like to find songs about the things that we're learning about. The homograph song, great. I'll put a link to it in the description so you can enjoy it yourself, because it's seriously gold, people. Anyway, my kids love it. They learned all the words and have been singing it all week. And guess who else has had it stuck in their head literally all week long? So while normal people are singing like their favorite country tunes or current pop artists or maybe even Christmas songs, because I don't know, it's like it's December or something, I'm over here singing about how the spellings don't change, but the meaning does. And baby, you've got a homograph. These are the things that I have stuck in my head. when you're feeling good because you're getting things done on your to-do list and you're like moving forward in life, and then you walk into the back room and you discover a stack like as high as you of things you forgot about that you need to prepare because you're using them next week. Ah, what fun! Bingo week for a second. So basically every 6 weeks we don't have new language arts material to teach, and so it's kind of like a review week. So I came up with this brilliant idea last time to do bingo week, where we would use bingo boards and earn bingos while reviewing different concepts. And it went fine, but it's going to go better this time. So I want to show you kind of how it works in a very brief overview, because you probably don't actually care that much, but I'm just really proud of myself right now, so I just need to show off. So yeah. So each student gets a folder like this, and in their folder is their list of high frequency words that they're on. So like this student is on this one, so they have their own personalized list of their high frequency words that they're on in their bingo week folder with their number on it. And then also in their bingo week folder is going to be a couple other materials. So the first one is this pink bingo sheet where the lines did not print, so that's cool. But you know, whatever, we work with what we've got. So this first one is all about practicing your list. So it has things like read your whole list in less than 30 seconds, read your list 3 times while hanging upside down on your chair, write your words in ABC order. It's all about practicing those word lists, which is kind of the goal of this whole bingo week, is to pass off those high frequency words. So there's this one. Then we've got this one, which is all reading things. I made it such that for each book, there's like this one is read a nonfiction book. You write down the title of the book, and then you have to answer a question. So this one, write one fact that you learned, and it does that for all of them. So there's fewer squares on here, but there's more accountability for the students. So every student will get, well, most students will get this and this, the reading and like the word work aspect of it. And then some of the kids, so those will be like my lowest kids, I'll probably just give them those two because that's about all that they can handle. And then we've got 2 other options. So I have some kids who passed off all 600 words already because, you know, they're like that and are just really smart. So that's awesome. So for them, I created a couple additional options, and this will also be for my kids who pass the list off really fast, and so they kind of need more of a challenge. So I've got this one, which is like a grammar one. So this reviews concepts that we've already done. So this one is like correct the sentence, then write them in a plural, split the compound words, multiple meaning words, all sorts of good stuff. So this is reviewing some grammar concepts that we've covered. So I'll give this to my kids that have passed off their lists instead of that practice your list one. And then I have this last one, which just has a card number, whatever, and a space to write their answers. I have sets of word work cards that tell them things like read a book and find 10 words with a short A sound in them. And then they would just write those down on here. And then they will get opportunities to pass off their lists and to show me their bingo boards. Anytime they get a bingo or pass off their list, we put them on the class bingo board, and then when this fills up, we do a drawing for a prize. So we do this every day for like 30 to 45 minutes. We have a chunk of time where we work on bingo week, and they just pull out their folder, work on their own bingos. I am just going to call them back by my roster, and I'll just call like 3 kids back at a time and say, do you have a bingo or a list you need to show me? And do that and then send them back to their seats. So I'm in control of that, and so they're focused more on getting their bingos than they are on signing up. I've also decided that because I can't help everybody, and some of these high frequency words are words that they don't know, I have a couple of kids who I'm going to give this little badge to that says I'm a word wizard. And then if you have a word that you don't know, you just go find a word wizard and they read it for you. And that way I don't get interrupted while I'm trying to pass people off. So my next task is to separate these out and load everybody's folders with the bingo sheets that they need, so we'll be ready for bingo week on Monday. I'm missing one of my bingo week folders, and I want to know what's crazy. The kid whose is missing, I'm not even a little bit shocked. I swear every time I take something off this list, I add 4 new things. I was so proud of myself because I made these big holes and erased like all these things, and then I went right ahead and added 4 new ones to replace the 4 things I'd taken off. So, way to go me. I reached a point where I am slowly giving up. I think we reached that point several hours ago, actually. Just discovered that December is going to be one of those awkward months that starts to late in the calendar, and so I'm going to have to put the 31 back up here. And, you know, normally that's not that big of a deal, but for second graders, that's just about the most confusing thing that could ever happen in the world. So, yay. The highlight of redoing this calendar right now is how many of these magnets say Christmas break on them. Think of how many days of this whole month we won't be here. I'm really proud of this. I've got all 23 stockings stacked up on my leg right now. It's the little things. Both my phone and my laptop are going to die any second now. That's how I know I've been at school too long. So I am going to run like the wind to show you my Christmas decorations. Harold is in his Santa costume. This was the first costume I ever made for him. We have a wreath on the door. We have our Christmas garland plus ornaments up. And everybody has their very own stocking hanging, which to be filled with treats. And I forgot, Santa's up here with the countdown chain. Guys, it has been a night, and it's time for the night to end. I'm going to fill out my calendar behind the desk, and then I'm going to go home. Happy Friday. Merry Christmas. See ya.